Good morning. Today's webinar on how to create snazzy graphics for social media um, is being presented by SCORE of Chester and Delaware counties. I'm Adam Schubert. I'll be your moderator today. Lynn Williams will be our presenter and we'll introduce her shortly. First, a couple slides about SCORE. So for those of you who may not be familiar with SCORE, we are a volunteer organization founded in 1964 as a resource partner of the Small Business Administration with the goal of supporting small businesses and startup businesses. In Chester and Delaware counties, we have about 100 volunteers who are here to help you. We offer mentoring and educational programs such as this, all available at no charge. At the end of today's webinar, we'll give you more information on how to contact us for further information and how to request a mentor. So, next slide, please. So some rules of engagement for today's webinar. Today's session is being recorded and you'll receive a link to the recording in a follow-up email later today, most likely. All participants have been placed on mute to avoid distractions. Please place your questions in the Q&A box. Lynn will stop at a few points during the session and then at the end of the session to address your questions. And if you have any comments or references you'd like to share with the group as a whole, please feel free to put them in the chat box. Next, please. So with that, I'm happy to turn the presentation over to Lynn and take it away.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Happy to be back here. I'm going to put the link to the deck in the chat. If you were here last time on October 12th, it is the same link, but I've moved a couple slides up. So you don't have to take screenshots of, all the slides. They're here. And you can reference this at any time. So what is new that I popped in from the bottom is this slide and the next one. So let me recap real quickly what we went over last time in case you did not go over or did not attend the overview. And then I'm going to come back to these two slides and do demos. We talked about wordart.com to make a word cloud for a social media post or a LinkedIn banner. We talked about Canva, which I'm going to be doing live demos today. So here's another Canva. We talked about setting up a LinkedIn company page for your business, and you have to make a banner for that as well as provide a logo, and those are different sizes than your personal LinkedIn profile. If you need some sort of a graphic for an article or a blog, you can make that. I use Canva. You want to be active on LinkedIn, publishing and posting, as well as commenting. You might need a graphic for an event or, a social media post. So, on the left, I've got a recap of this week's events through my nonprofit organization. And, you can see the SCORE event on there. We do cross-platform marketing for other organizations that do invite me to speak. The one in the middle is just a TGIF. So, amongst all the event postings that we put out, because we run about 500 events a year, we do put some fun things out there and holiday celebrations. Over on the right is a 3-part LinkedIn workshop, FYI. I've been teaching at the Chester and Delaware County Library for over 10 years with a 3-hour workshop on LinkedIn every third Saturday of the month, in case you need to know more about that. And so it's 9 hours worth of free LinkedIn through the Chester County Library over a 3-month period. You might need to make a YouTube thumbnail for a video. You might want to read these tips articles because it gives you the 2023 dimensions of different social media platform post sizes. So it's different on Twitter versus Facebook, versus Instagram, etc. And then aside from Canva, which is what I'm going to show, GoDaddy has bought a company in South Africa called Over, and they changed it to GoDaddy Studio. And so they have a graphics platform also. And then there's Snappa, which is also another graphics platform. And then there's a whole list of where you can get some images. You need to double check to see if they are royalty free or not. You don't want to violate any copyright laws and just take an image from Google. Somebody took the time to photograph that or make that image, and therefore, they have the right to be accredited or compensated. So you want to use the platforms where it says that it's royalty free so you don't get in trouble. I think if you do use a Getty image, it's something like $11,000 per day violation or something like that. I read that a long time ago, so I don't know what the current violation is. But that's why I use Canva because of all the images that are available, and I know that I'm safe because I've got that platform. We also talked about PictoChart. It's another platform for infographics. And here's a list of some LinkedIn image sizes and then other resources, which I think I wound up leaving off on last time. And then, all my contact information is at the end. So if you have the free Canva account, it has its limitations. And if you have the Canva Pro account, which is like $120 a year, you will be able to do everything that I do in my demos. So one of the things that I can do is I can remove background in my Canva Pro account. If you don't have a Canva Pro account, you could try remove.bg and get rid of the background and then put it into Canva. I think, Adam, do you remember, did I do the QR code monkey demo to make a QR code? And I think I didn't do the free profile picture maker last time. Do you recall?
I think that's correct, Lynn.
Yeah, okay, all right. So because the QR code monkey is pretty quick, I might actually wind up doing that one again. So let me go back to the beginning, and I'm going to talk about those 2 slides, and we're going to do some demos. Oops, I overshot it by 1. Okay. Now, if you are going to write an article, you want to hopefully analyze the headline of the article so that it gets a good open rate, and then you have a really good picture for your article. So I do teach a workshop. I don't think I have anything going in 2023, but I do a workshop on how to analyze your headlines for LinkedIn, emails, blogs, etc. But what I do want to show you is the social media planning chart. So if you are going to plan social media for your business, sure, you can get a paid platform if you want, but I'm going to show you how to do it for free. what I do is use Google Docs, and I have 3 columns. So I'm going to take you live to my Google Drive, and I'm going to type in DVVC social media and 2023. So DVVC is Delaware Valley Veterans Consortium. And I am so thankful for the freedoms provided to me in this country. So my give back is to help promote veterans activities. And I post their social media on Facebook and their LinkedIn company page. But I have their social media set up for the entire year. And if I have interns from universities who are looking to have a real life experience and make some graphics for an organization, I typically would have them work on this chart. So you can see here I have, well, that should have been a 2022 image, the first one. Here's a 2023 image that was done by an intern, and then I have it set up for 2024. So when I have the content written out, you know, the Pledge of Allegiance it's always recognized like on the same day, typically, or the same day of the week, you know, like the first Monday of December or whatever it may be. Same thing, Kwanzaa, you know, well, that changes, the date is the same, but the day of the week, it changes every year. So that doesn't really relate. There's Christmas, US invasion of Panama. So when I have interns that work on the DVVC, they actually get to learn some military history along the way. So you can see I'm going in reverse chronological order for setting up my social media chart. Here's November, and then you're starting to see some green stuff here. So what happens is it's October 30th to November 3rd is National Veterans Small Business Week. So what I've got is the verbiage for the post, and then I have these 2 posts. So in 2022, this was the Canva image that was used, and it was November 1st through 5th last year. So the new intern created this 2023 image. So what you can do is if you create a Google Doc, you can have these 3 columns. You say, you know, what the date is and when you're going to post it. And then once you post it, you can put you can shade it green. So next year, I will take this whole, like, I don't know how many pages this document is. It's huge, but I can go File, Save As 2024, and then I unshade the left column, and then I have to tweak and change some of the dates so it goes with the 2024 calendar. But I can put my Canva links right here on the right, and I put my verbiage right here on the left. So if you're trying to plan out a social media calendar, and you know, maybe you spend a weekend and do your whole month and plot out your calendar for the month, and you could just put the link of Canva in there. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Let me go back to the deck. Does anybody have any questions before I move on to another topic?
Yeah, no questions right now, Lynn. So anybody
Okay.
who does have questions, please feel free to enter them in the Q&A box.
Oh, so one thing I should probably show you is you can see I have hashtags at the bottom. So I kind of pre-plan out my hashtags. Now, one thing that I don't have on here that I'm going to do a little free bonus demo here is if you have a LinkedIn company page, you might want to make what I'm going to call is a LinkedIn signature. Okay. So the LinkedIn signature is like what we share. Ring the bell on our LinkedIn company page and choose all new posts. Follow dvvc.org. So I'm telling people, hey, this is my call to action on this post. So now I can take out that DVVC down below in my hashtags, and I can keep putting that call to action in to see if people will follow the DVVC.org LinkedIn company page.
Okay, yeah, Lynn,
All
we
right.
do have a question.
Sure. Yep.
How do you put the Canva link on the Google Content Calendar?
Great question. Okay. So get out of the Google Drive. So what I would do is I'm going to go to Canva, and I'm going to go to projects over here on the left, because I have, this is another thing I was going to show you. I want to show you how I plan the projects. So I'm going to pull up my October file, and then I will actually pull one of those links up. Now, right now, the internet is not cooperating too terribly much. Okay, here we go. Now, if I click on this is 2023-10-events. You can see for all of October, we have events by the week. We have holidays. We have weekly recaps, non-speaker events, Funny Friday, Wellness Wednesday, Career Tip Tuesday, Motivational Monday. So I'm just going to pull these up just so you can get a handle on what it is that we do. So here's the week of 10-2. I have a rectangle and I have a Instagram square. So the Instagram square is 1080 by 1080. The rectangles that we make, I make them 1200 by 630. And the reason I do that is I can use that on Facebook, Twitter, Meetup, and LinkedIn. A couple years ago, we used to make, one size for Twitter, one size for Meetup, one size for Facebook. But we found that if we use the 1200 by 630 size, and then we squish it in just a tiny little bit on the left and right, so that there's a little bit more of a margin on each side, that we can use it on multiple platforms without it going wonky. Because on Meetup, it kind of cuts off the left and the right side. So we will make an event in those two sizes. So the next week would be, here's the week of 10-9. So here's all our events for 10-9. And then I'm going to go back, and here's the week of 10-16. You're going to see the same thing, rectangle and square. But it's when you need to post them on social media, if you've got a lot going on, you have to have some kind of filing system to be able to make it make sense to you and be able to find things. Here's the week of 10-23. That's this week. So, this is what's going on here. And then the week of 10-30, so here's, a bunch of stuff going on. And then I'm going to show you some holidays. Okay. So here we have Friday the 13th, Happy Halloween Day, National Cat Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. We can't celebrate every holiday. As a nonprofit, we have tight budgets. So, we do put some in there. Now, the non-speakers. So these are like recurring events that we run. We have an LGBTQ group. We have business executives networking group, interview techniques. So these are people that run the meetings, but it's not a speaker like a career education topic. Here is our Career Tip Tuesday. So every Tuesday we'll put out, a tip. And then here's Wellness Wednesday, same thing. Here's the Motivational Monday, same thing. And then I want to show you the weekly recaps. So here's where we put these like 3-column things with the different colors. Those are our branded colors. And we make, 2 sizes. And these typically go out in our MailChimp newsletter. When I post a MailChimp newsletter, an email, it gets posted on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So that's why I need these weekly recaps. I also use them in other places in Post and LinkedIn. Now, we have weekly videos. So with our videos, our slides are just the event slides, but we add music to them, and the music comes from Canva. So that's not copyright either. It's royalty free to use. And because we have verbiage on the slides, we don't have to put subtitles. But if you are going to make a video, please make sure that you include subtitles on the video before you post it, as most people seem to watch videos without sound. They might be taking a break in their office and, a phone break, and they'll be watching their videos.
Yeah.
So
Lynn, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you get to how you get the link for one of your
Yes.
Canva posts?
Yep. So, oops, I should have stayed on there. My bad. Let me go back to projects. So once you have this all organized, let me go back to the 10. So if I wanted this Career Tip Tuesday, I would pull up the Career Tip Tuesday. Here's the rectangle. I would click edit, right? Now up at the top right, it says share. When I click share, all right, I want to click copy link, but it says only people can access, and it could be Grey Chris team, because we have a team account, we have the Canva Pro account, anyone with the link, or print on Canva. So when I click share, all I do is copy link, and then I could go right here and I could just pop it into the chart. But I have to have an organized system in order to be able to access, if you have a big volume of social media, you have to be able to find it, because it does get tricky. After years and years and years, we've got a pretty massive system. So that's why it's important to set up some structure for filing. Now, when I copy this link, okay, let me get out of that. So when I copy this link, you can see only certain people can access. So if I, want the Great Careers team to access it, or anyone with the link, if I clicked on anyone with the link and I gave you that link, all of you would be able to access that link. But sometimes I don't want people to edit. I only want them to view. So you can change, the links and whatnot to make it viewable. So if I go back to, let me get rid of this one out of here. So if I go to DVVC and I click share, copy link, do you see here the Great Careers team can edit, can view, or can comment? So if you are working for a large company and you have some branding guidelines, and you don't want, the sales team or, people as part of the marketing team, but that don't make the graphics, you don't want them to edit, but you want them to comment or view, then you could just change that parameter on there when you send them the link. Okay, any other questions?
No other questions right now, so please
Okay.
enter your
All right.
questions in the Q&A box.
All right. So, all right. So that's that little chart that I was going to share with you. And now, I'm not going to do Snappa demos or Picto chart. And now we're just going to go straight into Canva. Okay. I just want to look at my little list here. All right, here we go. Oh, here under demos, you see 2023 image sizes. So this is a Hootsuite blog that's on that slide. And so this is a really handy chart here. So here's your basic Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, LinkedIn, TikTok, etc. So, I'm not on all those platforms, and I don't think they added threads yet. So, so here we go. Going to go into Canva here. Let me start fresh. I'm going to go to home. Now, up at the top right, you see this purple button. It says create a design. So we're going to start with that. And now it's asking me, do I want to make a design for a LinkedIn banner, a Facebook cover, etc.? Or I can go down on the bottom left and I can create custom design. Well, what size do I want? Well, maybe I want 920 by 1080. So I'll tell you why I want that particular design. So if I were to go to LinkedIn, all right, and I click on home, and then I click on write article, and then I click next. So it's going to tell me right here that it's 1920 by 1080. So once I create my image, I can just drag and drop it in there. Now, if I go on these 9 little squares on the business, and down at the bottom it says create a company page, then I click create company. So this is where I need a logo, which is square, and it's 300 by 300 versus your LinkedIn profile photo is 400 by 400. But if you go in the deck, it'll say it needs a cover photo, and the cover photo is 1128 by 191. So if I wanted to make the 1128 by 191, I would go back and start that design and put those dimensions in. So you can be exact and specific on your dimensions for the specific platform or need. Now, I'm presenting from a Canva Pro account. You can set up Canva for free, but you're going to have some limitations on the account. So what that means is if I go down here to photos on the left, and I'm looking for a photo, let's do Halloween. So right now, you see in the bottom right-hand corner, you see little crowns that are in those pictures. That's from the Canva Pro account. If you don't have the Pro account, you have to pay for these individually. So let's go down this bar. Okay, here's a black one that's plain. Here's this one that's plain. It doesn't have a crown. Here's another one. So let's just pull this up and pop it over. It's just a matter of a drag and drop. Now, if I wanted to add some text, I would go over to the left and I would click on the text box. Now, I could add a headline, a subheadline, or a little bit of body text. So let me just add a headline. and I can't see that. So I'm going to make it white. All right. And I don't particularly like that font. So I'm going to click on this Laura font, and there's like a little down arrow here. And as soon as this decides to load, I have Comcast Business, so I don't know what's going on here. Taking way longer than it normally should. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that to load so I can choose a different font, I'm just going to click in here, and I'm going to type, oops, Grammarly wants to do its thing. Happy Halloween. And let me get rid of the rest of that word heading. Okay, maybe I'll put an exclamation point. Now, it's not real big, so let's see if this still not coming up. Oh my goodness. All right. So you can see this particular font that I dragged and dropped over is 31.5. Oh, here we go. So the fonts choices, there's so many of them. I mean, and you get to look at what they look like over here on the left. So let's say I wanted to use Intro Rust. All right, that looks Halloweenish, but it's still 31.5. So I can increase this two ways. I can either hit plus, 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 or I can click in the middle on this 36.5, take the bar down here, and maybe make it 64. All right. Now it has parameters on the left and right, but let's say I just want it to go straight across. I just grab the right side of this bar and stretch it out. And then if I click off and I click on, I can move this anywhere I want. I can also grab a corner and stretch it out and make it bigger. And then if I have my my box, my purple box, stretched left to right, if I wanted to take this text, whoops, if I wanted to take this text, I could make it right here, center, left justified. I could make it full justified. I can make it right justified, or I can make it centered. So it depends on what look you want. Now, if I don't want white, maybe I want this some yellow color so it pops out a little bit more. So I can, highlight these words. My mouse, come on now. All right. And then right here, do you see the A? This is the font. If I click on that, I can scroll down and it's going to give me a couple, choices that are standard default colors. But I can also put a specific hex color in. But let's just go with the standard one first. Let's put the yellow in. Okay. And maybe we like that. And if I highlight it again, let's try this orangey yellow. Maybe we like that better. Now I can always go use this redo button, where it says undo. So I click that, and then I can look at the yellow again, and then I can look at the orange. I can look at the yellow, I can look at the orange. So it's kind of nice if you want to compare it, but you have to put the comparisons in first before you can flip back and forth. Now, over on the left is a box called that says brand. So you can add your branding logos and your branding colors and your hex colors, in and put that on Canva. So that way you get the right colors for your business each and every time. So if I scroll down here, I'm going to put, here you see colors. These were our old colors. We did a rebrand, and here's the Great Careers Group colors. You've seen that blue, dark blue, light blue, and turquoise already. Now, if I click on see all, okay, if I were to, get these logos in, here's the Thought Leadership Branding Club, TLB. I'm on the board of the Paoli Business Association, so I do social media for them. Here's Great Careers. And then, there's other logos and whatnot. So you can build that into the platform, so you always have it available to you. So if I was going to put drag Paoli Business Association's logo there, obviously it's too big. So I'm going to grab the corner and I'm going to, I don't know, put it down in the right-hand corner. All right. So you can't see Paoli Business Association because the black logo is the verbiage of it says Paoli Business Association under the word Paoli, and you can't see that because the background's black. So how would I fix that? Okay, so let me just move this here, and I'm going to go over to elements. So elements on the left, you've got arrows, lines, circle, square. You can scroll over here. You got all kinds of things. But if I wanted to go to shapes, okay, I could just drag and drop the square shape and I could put it right there. Now it came out orange. So let me make this a little bit longer, but I want to make it more of a rectangle. So I just grab those, sides and that little bar, and I've got orange as the background, but maybe I want to make it white. So I just click on the square and then I change it to white. So now if I want Paoli Business Association, I just dragged and dropped it, but it disappeared. So what you have to do to get it on the top, you click the word position and you want to bring it forward or to front. So let's bring it forward. So there you can now see here's Paoli Business Association's logo, and you can see the black words underneath because now I have that white background. So if I wanted to put out a post, saying Happy Halloween from the Paoli Business Association, I could make this particular post. Now,
Okay.
question?
Yeah, I've got a couple questions on manipulating text, so why don't we take those right now?
Yeah, go for it.
The first one is, how do you change the direction of text boxes from vertical to horizontal?
Okay. And what's the other question?
The other question is, how would you change the words Happy Halloween to be put in, say, a pumpkin shape?
Okay. So, if I click on Happy Halloween, all right, I have to think about this. I think it's the effects button right here. All right. I can go on down at the bottom, it says shape. So there's none, which is right now, but I can make it a curve. And if I, okay, I didn't scroll down enough. So see, the curve is right now 71. So I can make it like that or like that. I can make it smile. I can make it go down. How to make it vertical? I think I'm going to click none. I'm not sure, other than I would have to manually do that, step by step. And then obviously this is going to be way too big now. So let me go down to, let's say, a 32. And I'd have to put a double space for Halloween. Okay. That gives a total different vibe than what we had before, right? It's a little bit harder to read, but you'd have to kind of manually force it. There might be a way of doing this, but I am not like an official Canva trainer. I'm not a graphic designer. I'm just showing you as a layperson how I learned to use this platform as a layperson. So it really helps to be shown where some bells and whistles and buttons are, so that you have an understanding of how to do some stuff. So that's what I'm here to show you today. Now, how do you make the words in a pumpkin? Okay. I may have to pull up my other Google Drive, but I'm going to try and do that here. I'm going to click on Google and go to QR code monkey. All right, now you don't want to click on the sponsor. You don't want to make a pay-per-click, especially if they're giving you a platform to use for free. So I would choose QR code monkey. It's a free QR code. And no, sorry, I'm on the wrong platform. My bad. I want WordArt, wordart.com. Okay, so if I was in WordArt and I click create, all right, I could put in, instead of the word word up here on the left, happy Halloween. And then I just click off those other two. Now, when I click on shapes, I'm going to go down to Halloween. So here are some Halloween images. And let's say I want the smiling pumpkin, right? When I click the word visualize, it will give me Happy Halloween in a pumpkin. Now, if I wanted to download this or save this, I can't save it on this Google Drive because I don't have my account set up on this drive. I have it set up on my other drive, but we can still download it and use it for our purposes. When I click download, I can get a free PNG, a free JPEG. Now, if you are putting something on your website, you want a JPEG, not a PNG, because that way it'll load faster and it won't take up so many resources because it's way less bytes than a PNG. But if this is something that you're going to cherish and you want really high quality, you're going to have to click on these high quality ones and you're going to have to pay for it. So here it's going to want $4.99, for a high quality download. But if you just want it for a social media post, you can again go download and just do the standard one. So I'm going to do the PNG, and see it says WordArt PNG. So if I wanted to go into Canva, I'm gonna move this screen over here. I'm going to go to my downloads folder because that's where it downloaded to. And I can drag and drop that into my Canva. All right, so there it is. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Put that over at the top right. Now you can see it's pretty stark with the white background. So if you have the free Canva account, you may have to first import this into remove.bg, meaning remove.background. But I have the Canva Pro account. I can just click on this. And then when I click on edit photo, right here, it says BG remover. So watch this, magically, it's going to remove that white background. And then I've just got the orange and yellow pumpkin that's in there. So if you wanted to, put your business name or something in there, you can see it's really hard to see the happy Halloween. So it's not a perfect world, but what the heck? It's a free platform, and hopefully it'll work for a social media post for your purposes. Do we have more questions?
Yes. So you've been talking about creating for a business. Would these steps be the same if you wanted to create a more interesting banner for your personal LinkedIn page?
Yeah, I will get into LinkedIn banner. Also, yep, I will get into that. But I want to at least show you how you would start and make an image, a graphic from scratch, and then we're going to get into templates, and that's when I'll get into LinkedIn. But I'm also going to show you templates and that you can use for your business. All right, now, remember I had QR Code Monkey up. I did a demo on this last time, but this is really quick. So I am going to demo this one more time also. If I go to greatcareers.org, okay, this is mine. Oops, I don't want to go in the WordPress. I don't want that. I just want the website. Okay, so if I want to drive traffic to my website, okay, I'm going to click greatcareers.org. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go into QR Code Monkey. Right here, I don't want to drive traffic to QR Code Monkey. I want to drive traffic to my website. Or it could be an event, or it could be a landing page, or a blog, or something like that. So now I can set colors. Well, if I want to keep it black, I could keep it black. If I wanted to make it orange, I could do that also. But I'm going to keep it black. Now, here, I can add a logo image. If I am a solopreneur or a job seeker or an employed person, I may want to just put my picture in the middle and drive it, to whatever, my portfolio or something like that. But as a business, I can click on upload images. And if I went to logos, AGCG logos, here we go. And I used drag and drop this logo in here. My logo, oops, my logo circle. Give me a second. I'm going to move this screen out of the way. Oh, it won't let me move the screen. I think I did it. Oh, no, not exactly precisely. Okay. Let me try that again. I'm pulling up my drive. I think I'm gonna have to move my screen out of the way. It's not gonna let me drag and drop it nicely right now. Okay, here we go. I have lots of files. This is many, many years of intellectual property going on here. All right. I want my circle logo. So I'm just going to drag and drop it here. Okay. And let me stretch out my screen again. And now, if I wanted to customize the design, I could change the size of the chunks on the QR code. So I'm going to just leave it as this, but I can create QR code. Now, if I want to download it, you can see here's my logo in the middle, but I could also have my picture. I can download the PNG, but I can also download an SVG, PDF, or EPS. So I'm just going to click download PNG. And now it says, your QR code is being generated. Please do not refresh or close the window. So I have to be patient and wait for that. And then if I go back to Canva to our Halloween and I go to my downloads folder again, I'm going to get my QR code. So I can drag and drop that QR code into my image. So if I had an event and, I could put the registration on where I put the link, on the image, and then I could also put the QR code on the image. So if people wanted to access the registration by the QR code, they could do that. So you could put whatever URL you want to drive people to in there. Okay, let's see. I want to also show you, here's elements. We already went into elements, and I dragged and dropped the square over so that I could put it behind Paoli Business Association's logo. But there's so many different kinds of elements. So let's say I wanted to type in pumpkin. All right. So here's a whole bunch of graphics that are pumpkins. Maybe I wanted a ghost. We already have pumpkins on here. So here I can just take this ghost and I can drag and drop it, and it's coming out black. So I don't want a black ghost. I'm going to make it white. So there it is. You just change the color through that little square. So this obviously is not a beautiful graphic. I'm just showing, how to do things. So you've got a little demo. But these are icons in the elements section versus photographs. Now, this little ghost, you can see, has a crown on it. So that comes from the Premium Pro account. But I can also go down to photos. And then let's say I wanted to do a ghost. That's a photo. So I want, kids. This is a free one. So I can drag and drop this photo in here. I can do that. Or let me delete that. I can go back to elements, and there's another feature in here. Let me take out ghost. There's another feature in here. Graphics. Oh, I got to refresh because it's got that ghost logged in there. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down, and do you see these things called frames? You're going to see, the sky and the grass. So let's say I wanted this frame. And I wanted to go back to that photograph of those kids, and I didn't want it exactly rectangular. Maybe I want it, in this shape right here. So when I drag and drop this into this little shape, it conforms to that shape. All right. So that's another little technique I wanted to show you. All right. So now I'm looking at the time. I want to go into templates in Canva. But again, if I wanted to share this particular image, I could click on share. And then here it only says only I can access, but I got my team or anyone with the link. Or, I can just download it. Now, here's the interesting thing about download. It will default to PNG, but there's a little down menu here that if I want something for my website, I definitely want JPEG, but I can also do a PDF standard, a PDF print, an SVG, an MP4 video, or a GIF. Now, I'm going to go and show you how to do a LinkedIn banner from a template. but you can also build, your LinkedIn banner from scratch by kind of using the same concepts that I did for this particular, demo image. So if I want to save this Happy Halloween, I'm going to click on File and Save, and then it'll save all my changes for me. So then I'm going to close that tab, right? And I'm going to get back into Canva. Over here on the left, it says templates. So I'm going to click on templates. Now, if you saw the number of templates that are on this platform, it is, mind-blowing in my humble opinion. They have really stepped up Canva over the years. I used to use Over app, and I paid $99 a year, and I used to be able to manipulate it on my phone. And I thought that was cool because I could be productive while I was waiting in a restaurant for a coffee or a meal. And that was before Canva had an app. So now, I use Canva exclusively. And the reason being is Canva gives nonprofits that are 501c3 nonprofits a free pro account. So they used to have only 10 people on the team, but if I'm not mistaken, I think you can have up to 50 people on your team. And again, this is like really slow to load. Maybe if I take myself off video. I don't know if that'll help, excuse me, speed things up.
Yeah. While you're waiting, I've got a question.
Right, sure.
Do you have to have a Google Business account to create fillable forms?
Fillable forms. I'm not sure what that means for Google Business. If you have a Gmail account, whether it's a regular Gmail or whether you've customized your Gmail, like director at greatcareersphl.org, that is the Gmail, a customized Gmail that I use for the nonprofit. When I go, let me click on the plus sign. When I go in these 9 little squares, that's where all the magic happens. So I can click, to go to my Drive, my Gmail, make docs, slide sheets, go to my account, calendar, keep, meet, sites, contacts, groups, chat, search, YouTube, maps. Like you can access all these things. Here, I would click forms. So it's free to create a form. So for example, if I, here's a basic template. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, so this is our old logo. So you can get your logo at the top of the form and you can put your questions in. And let me just show you one other thing while we're waiting. Oh, and they have some like templates here, like what's an assessment, a worksheet, an exit ticket. But let's do something that here's a Bang membership application. So when we have mid to senior level executives and business owners want to be part of, our membership, here's the application that they fill out. It's all a Google form. And then there's responses that go to a Google sheet. And you can, again, create a logo banner. And you can do that in Canva and then import it into Google Forms. There's also Jot Form. There's lots of different platforms for form. If you have a WordPress site, there's Gravity Forms and, there's all kinds of plugins. So it depends on what your needs are and whether you have WordPress or you just need it in general. I don't know. This is a little crazy. I have myself off video because there was an issue on their end. Oh, maybe it's Canva. Okay. Let me go back home. Okay. And Let me click on templates now that I see the word. Let me see if it'll come up. Or if it's still, yeah, it still says there's an issue on their end. So they may be doing a download or an update of some sort. But I can't do this demo without the platform working. So are there any other questions that I could answer
Yeah,
in the meantime?
yeah. So you mentioned that Canva provides a free pro account to
Hmm.
nonprofits.
Yeah.
Are there any other platforms that do that as well?
Yes, that's a really great question. So if I go to Google and I type in can Canva for nonprofits, here's, you want to click on that link. Now, if you go back to Google and put in link tree for nonprofits, here's the forever free plan. And you can get, oh, here it is, not link tree for nonprofits and charities. So again, you have to have that proof of the 501c3. So while let me check and see if this downloaded yet. No, not yet. So I'm going to keep on doing something else that relates to the topic. Here's my LinkedIn profile. And if we're not connected, feel free to reach out and connect. Right underneath my photo, you can put one link. So you could put your website, but why not make a link of links, which is Linktree. So it's linkttree.com. And I set up a free account. So here, more gobsmacking resources. This is my link tree. So when I created the link tree, let me get rid of the cookies here. This particular background did not cost me one dime. I chose this light blue, and it was, designed with the rainbows and the confetti and the heart and all that. I could put in all my social media. I could put in what it is that I do. I have my own handle, which is, my first name, last name. And then all these little images, all these came from Canva. So I was able to, make some pops of color in there. Now, if I go to the very first one, this is a Linktree Pro account, and this is for the nonprofit. So it says, again, what we do. We could put in all our social media, and then all these little images here came from Canva. Now, what this does that's different than the free Linktree is it gives me analytics, like how many people clicked on this this Canva Pro account. Now it's typical. Let me go on Instagram.com/great careers PHL. Usually people create a link tree and it goes into the one and only link in their Instagram account. So I also use it, on this is the link tree for the Great Careers, but I use my own link tree, which I link to the nonprofit link tree on my personal LinkedIn profile. But, here's all our Instagram, images. So we got a pretty busy wall of things going on. All right, let me get out of this word cloud. Maybe I have too many windows open, so let me try closing some windows, and maybe this will help our situation. Okay, there's still an issue. All right, I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to try and go into Canva one more time. Oh, there we go. All right. Sometimes you just got to start all over again. So now over on the left is templates. I'm going to click on templates. The amount of templates on here is just crazy. I mean, there's so many images, it's insane. So here, if I chose Halloween, all right, there's already things that are designed And I don't, and look at how cool some of these are. But you can see there's crowns on them. So if you have envy of using some of these things, it's like already done pretty much, and you can customize it for your social media purposes. You're going to have to go with the pro account. But if you're going to take one of these templates, I'm going to do the same thing on LinkedIn. You want to make a copy of the template and then tweak it. So I'm going to do that with LinkedIn. I'm going to take out Halloween and I'm going to type in LinkedIn banner. Now you can see lots of crowns on here, but there are some freebies. So let's pick, I don't know, let's pick this one. I see a lot of people with this one. I can tell that they have a free account when they use this exact image. So here it says in purple, customize this template. I'm going to click on that. Now it says blue, gold, elegant, minimalist, digital marketer, LinkedIn banner. Well, I don't want to ruin this template. So if I go over and click on file, make a copy. Okay. So now you can see the first two words are copy of. Okay. So I don't need that. I'm gonna say Lynn demo. Oops, I gotta get rid of all that again. Lynn demo LinkedIn banner. Okay. So that's what I want my file name to be. Now, for those of you who have taken my LinkedIn workshops, I would actually create a meta tag for my banner and my photo. I wouldn't just call it this, but that's another topic for another day. Now, I'm not big per se of putting the website or an email on here. I mean, you can, but if you look at my LinkedIn profile, if you go down to my about section, for people who are not connected to me, here's all my contact info. Anybody can copy and paste that. If they, if you're a first level connection, you can go in my contact info and you can see all that contact info. But I'm thinking about this and I really realize that nobody can click on, this website or this email. So I could just click on it and hit delete and make it go away. Now, here's Robert Laurent, and I could put my name in there. And if I didn't like that fancy font, I could make it more readable. Okay, so I don't want Amsterdam 4. I might want League Spartan. Okay, but again, it's too big. I can make it smaller by clicking on the middle of this instead of doing minus, minus, minus. Let's see what 56 does. Okay, so I can move this, and you have to think about when you're making a LinkedIn banner, your picture's down in the bottom left. So you don't want to put anything in the bottom left. It needs to be either centered or over in the right. Well, if I want this title, I could put that underneath there, and I could do resumes, LinkedIn, career, education. All right. So that, tells people what it is that I do. So I've made my name bold and then, I'm making a banner. This is your billboard of advertising yourself. So you don't want to have the boring, grayish, greenish blobs default that comes from LinkedIn. Now, I'm going to check the size of this. This needs to be 1584 by 396 for your personal LinkedIn banner. So up here at the top, I clicked on file. It does say 1584 by 396. But what happens if I want to make this the same for my LinkedIn company page? okay, as a business. I want matchy matchy with the banners. I'm going to click on a magic switch, and then here it says resize. I'm going to make this a custom size. So I'm going to click over here, and now I want to make this 1128 by 191. And I'm going to click continue. And I'm going to just resize this design, and boom. Well, now I've got to shimmy this down a little bit and shimmy this down a little bit. And now I have a banner for my LinkedIn page. Now, with a free account, guess what? You can't do that. I don't think you can use the resize button with the free account. So if you were pretty active on social media, you would be wasting so much time starting an image of 1080 by 1080, and then another one, 1200 by 630. You'd have to start everything from scratch. And when it's simple like this, with just a name and a title, that's one thing. But when you've got the details of a link and um, a, a, a date, a time of the event, where people could register, an image of or photo of somebody, it creates, wasted time. So you're better off paying for the account unless you have a nonprofit. Now, if I wanted to, I'm going to go back to elements. I don't need my picture on my LinkedIn banner because my picture, my photograph should be, down there in the bottom left. But let me go down to these frames. And if I wanted to drag and drop the circle frame, and this is going to be my LinkedIn company page, I can just expand it by dragging the corner. Now, over here on the left, this is something I haven't shown you yet. Over here on uploads, so you can see there's a bunch of pictures of people, that I've uploaded to make various social media posts. So I'm gonna have to scroll way down here. It's my old photo. You can see Chester and Delaware County SCORE logo in there. Yeah, there's a lot of photos here. I need to do maybe some cleanup here. All right. So here's a photo of me. This is a professional photo taken. I had it taken at the same time. I have my LinkedIn photo, but it's a slightly different version. If I were to drag and drop this photo in that little spot, so that's another image of me that I can use. If I'm a speaker at an event, or you have, speakers at events, then you can create those little circles. There are templates that have, 2 speakers, 3 speakers, 4 speakers, or you can, design it from scratch. You can either start from scratch like we did in the very first image, or you can pull up a template and then customize the template for your purposes. Any questions?
No questions at the moment. Please add your questions to the Q&A box.
Okay. So let me file, save. Now, here I can go file, save to folder. So I already showed you the folder system. You have to have some sense of organization for all your images. Otherwise, you'll go nuts trying to find them. So we have a standard naming nomenclature, and it might be Lynn Williams 10.26.23 R, meaning rectangle, or IG, meaning Instagram. So that way we can differentiate it. And I know that if I wanted to promote the picture of me for this particular score event, the image, that we made for the event. I would know exactly where to find it, and I would know what it was named. So, we have a virtual assistant who makes all these images, for our nonprofit, and she picked up our system so incredibly quickly, and we're able to work. She's in the Philippines, so we're able to work 12 hours apart, and we communicate through Slack and Google Docs. I very, very rarely speak to her. She knows the jam of what the processes are. So if you have processes and procedures set up and filing systems, and if you want to do it yourself, great. But if you want to hire somebody because you want to work on your business, rather than doing something that you can offload to somebody else to do, you can save yourself some time. Now, okay. So back over here on the left, I go into design, and there's also templates here, that I can choose. Some of them are free, some of them are not free. Now, this one, if I click on this color thing, let's see if I could change this. I can, but now my little bars, crossbars, are not visible. Okay. So that kind of defeats that purpose. So there are some templates where you can change the color, but there's other templates that you cannot. So let's go into, let me get out of this. I do have a favorite template here that I use on different people, and okay, this one. I use this one a lot. So customize this template. So again, I want to go file, make a copy. I don't want to ruin the original template. And I'm just going to not rename it right now. But let's say I didn't want that picture on there. Okay. I could just take that out, and I could, change the name and the title. I could change the font. But let's say I didn't want this blue color. So if I clicked on the blue, you can see up here, here's the blue. Maybe I want it that turquoise color. Okay. Or let me do that. So that changed that turquoise line thing. Same thing here. I could go and pick turquoise. I could, do 2 tones of turquoise here, turquoise, turquoise. Okay. So now I want to change this blue background. This is too dark so that my turquoise are not going to show up. So I'm going to choose white. Okay. So now I can see those little turquoise swoops in there. And maybe I like the dark blue. Maybe I want to change it. Let's just do something fun here. Okay. Here's this dark blue. Maybe I want to go bold. Let's go hot pink. Okay. So now I got to click on that. I'll make that one hot pink. And then I got to get into, I may have to move this one out of the way to get to this blue one. Okay, make that hot pink. And now I can move that back. All right. So these little things, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to delete, right? So you can undo. So you can move these around if you so choose. So if you have a business with a specific logo, or you're wearing something, a specific color in your professional photo, and you want to build your banner, you don't have a logo for a business, or you're a solopreneur, you could do the following. You go into Google and you type in hex code color picker. I'm just going to pick the first one. I don't know if this is the site I like or not. It is. Okay. So usually you can load up your photo. So maybe this is not the site. Let's pick another one. Let's go to the second one. This is the one I like. Okay. Not interested. Okay. So pick your color. So here it wants you to use your image. So if I click on use your image, and I can put in a website URL. So let's do greatcareers.org. I usually upload a photo, but I'll just do this for giggles here because I want to see what happens. Okay. Again, it's very slow. All right. I'm going to scratch that. I'm going to upload the image. All right. So I'm going to go to my folders and go to my pictures done by a professional photographer. And then I'm going to click my picture and I'm going to drag and drop it here. So you'll see this is the picture that's on my LinkedIn profile. Now, if I wanted the gray, you can see I've got this circle here. If I click on the gray, it tells me the hex number and the RGB number. If I wanted my turquoise shirt, it tells me what that color is. So if I wanted to create my LinkedIn banner, I could click on this little hex color, I copy it, and then I could go into and change these little swoops, okay? Or actually, no, let me change the pink, okay? So I'm going to click on the pink, and up here, I would add the hex color right here, and there it is. So now I've got exact matchy to my shirt that I'm wearing on LinkedIn. So now I've got like a together looking brand, so to speak. But now maybe I don't want, these particular turquoise swoops. Maybe I want to change these to gold or something like that. So you can play with it and come up with your own vision of what you want it to look like. So this particular image or template allows you to change colors, but there's many more templates that do not. Okay. Now, going back home, I know we're running out of time here, so I want to show you a few more things. Here's apps. They also have a content planner, but I've never used that. I like my Google Docs system. But you can make, lots of different folders so that, again, you can find things. We've totally changed the way that we did folders. We did it by chapter. When we were meeting in person, we had Malvern, we had Philadelphia, we had Bucks County, Doylestown. And so we're not doing things as much in person now. We're mainly doing things by Zoom. But let's say I go to my projects and there we go again. Oh, Canva. All right, let me get out of Canva and start all over again. This is faster. Bless you. All right. Yeah, I can't help this. This is I've got myself off video and I don't have a lot of windows open, so this is a Canva thing. I never got a notification that my internet is unstable. But I wanted to show you about the music and how you can drag and drop that in. But we've got to get it coming up. Let me close LinkedIn. Let me close the deck because I think I've covered most of this. So, oh man. All right, let me open another tab. I've got everything closed. Wow. So you will see a tab somewhere on here. I can't tell you exactly where right now. It'll say audio, and you can drag and drop the music into the deck that you have. And these are royalty free for music. Let me go back in LinkedIn and I'll show you something called a carousel deck. You can go to anybody's LinkedIn profile and, you know, I have stuff in my featured section, but here's activity. I have posts, I have comments, videos, images, newsletter, events, and documents. So I want to go into documents. These were all made in Canva. I'm also part of the Thought Leadership Branding Club, which is absolutely phenomenal. I have learned so much from so many subject matter experts. So if you're interested in, you know, exploring that, you know, reach out to me and I'll send you an invite for an event. But here is what we call a deck or a carousel. So this is my Instagram post, and you know, here's something about autism. All right. So there's 9 slides. So I could put that on Instagram if I saved them as 10 different images, and then I could make, you know, I could put up to 10 images on an Instagram, you know, with multiple images. But for LinkedIn, you have to go into Canva and you're going to have to go file, save as PDF. This is a PDF, but it came from Canva. So you can click on show all documents. And I did a series. Here's National Volunteer Month. Okay. I did a series of resume strategies, 14-part series, because I only had an hour to present and I knew I couldn't possibly get through telling everybody everything I wanted to tell them about resumes in an hour. So I made these supplemental little decks and they're all different colors. And all this was made in Canva. Now, you know, this one's only 4 pages. You can see that here. This one's 11 pages. So I couldn't put this on Instagram because it only will allow you to put 10 images on, you know, per post. Same thing here, 6 pages, that works, 3 pages works, 7 pages works. But I have some that are like really, really long. But this is something you can also do in Canva. So I'm looking at the time and I probably need to go back into the deck. Do we have any questions while I pull this up?
You know, one last question here. Do you provide a copy of the content calendar from Google in the slide deck?
No, but I'm going to show you real quick how to make it. You go into Google, you click on the 9 little squares, you click on Docs, you click on blank, and you go format, tools. Okay, insert table, and you want it going over 3 and down 3, okay? And boom, that's it. You can label whatever you want at the top. So I might take this little line and drag and drop it to make it smaller. And then I might take this line and make, columns 2 and 3 equidistant. I'm a little off there. Okay, so this one is date. This one is, the content, whatever you want to say. And this is the Canva link. So that's it. It's really that simple. You can also do it in Word if you want and import it in. But, I use Word for resumes and whatnot, but I am a Google girl for sure. I do lots of things by Google. All right, going down to the end of the score slides here, and I'm going to let you take over.
All right, thank you, Lynn. And I'm launching a poll so you can give us your feedback on today's presentation. The thing we want to do is talk to you about if you're interested in or in requesting a SCORE mentor, you can go to our website and you can self-select a mentor. You'll be able to look at the profiles of the mentors we have available and pick one who best matches with you. And in many cases, you can set an appointment right there. For some of our mentors, you need to contact them directly, and the website will walk you through that. If you need additional help, you can call the phone number given here that will connect you to our office, and our assistant there will be very glad to help you. And our mentoring services are available at no cost. And can you go to the last slide, please?
Sure can.
And this is all services are offered remotely. Our office is in Westchester. Call or email our office with additional questions. Additionally, from our website, which was on the previous slide, you can access our schedule of events. We have a number of templates and tools available, and all that you can download at no cost. And so we're here to help you start up your small business and support you along the way at no cost. So please take advantage. As we've mentioned earlier, you'll be receiving a follow-up email with a link to today's video. We've given you the link to Lynn's slides, and you'll be on our mailing list for future programs. So thank you again. Please fill out our poll before you leave, and that's the end of today's program.
I'm going to put the link to the deck in case anybody came late after I put the link in. So it's just right there. And thanks for coming.